Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Let's just dig right into it. Callum Smith has recently come out in an interview he did with Seconds Out and basically stated that, Canelo Alvarez is too small for the 168-pound division, implying and inferencing that, Canelo Alvarez, Billy Joe Saunders just will not be able to compete at 168 pounds against him. He believes he's the best fighter at 168, and he also believes that, these guys are just not big enough, strong enough to compete with him at that level. And now we all know that that's inaccurate, and the reason why we know that's inaccurate is that Canelo Alvarez is an elite level superstar who transcends weight classes, not just because of power, not just because of skill, but because of a multitude of things. Canelo Alvarez is not a one-dimensional fighter. Canelo Alvarez can do a multitude of things in the ring. He can make a lot of adjustments, and he's very defensive savvy. Against a guy like Danny Jacobs, who came in well overweight, coming in around, about 175, well past the 168 weight limit against Canelo Alvarez, blew past the rehydration clause, and you saw Canelo Alvarez still walk Danny Jacobs down, still back him up. You saw the power was there. People look at Canelo Alvarez's height and, they get it wrong and they get it twisted. At the end of the day, Canelo Alvarez digs to the body with elite level power shots. Canelo Alvarez moves his head as an elite level fighter, has elite level defense. He always comes in with a fantastic game plan. We saw Canelo Alvarez move up to 168 and dispatch Rocky Fielding in much the same way that Callum Smith did. So at the end of the day, we can compare the same similar fight with the same similar fighter, that these guys are at the highest level. Now, we know that Callum Smith is a big, strong fighter, but one thing we don't know about Callum Smith is how does he compete at this level against a star the magnitude of Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez has been in there with huge punchers such as a Triple G, and it's wildly renowned that Triple G can fight and hit much harder than a fighter at 160 pounds. Most people believe Triple G can fight, up as high as 175. There's been rumors in sparring that he stopped Sergey Kovalev at 175, and that's Triple G. And we saw Canelo Alvarez takes all of his best shots. We saw Canelo Alvarez get a stoppage win easily against the same opponent in the first round. So we know that Canelo Alvarez is an elite level fighter. We know the power is there. You cannot judge a book by its cover just because the height isn't there. He took on a much taller, much longer, and a very big and heavy Danny Jacobs. And I think that same Danny Jacobs would give, Callum Smith a lot of problems. At the end of the day, if we're being honest and unbiased, Canelo Alvarez would be Callum Smith's biggest challenge and toughest opponent of his career. I do think that Callum Smith would bring a lot to the table. I think he's a top-level fighter, and I think he would make it very difficult for Canelo because of his massive height and reach advantage. But at the end of the day, I see Canelo Alvarez overcoming that obstacle and that challenge because of his power, because of his craftiness, because of his skill, and because of his experience at the elite level of boxing. But once again, unbiased as always, it's the IBFP. Please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.